What's going on, people of the internet? My name's Denny or Denny Cigarette. Today we got another tier list for you guys. We're gonna be going over the most dangerous drugs tier list, or ranking each individual drug and how they affect the body and the people around you, etc. Obviously, I just uploaded a tier list, and hear me out. The new content is coming, and I saw a lot of confusion yesterday in a Discord. A few people brought this up. Stories are going to continue. They're not going anywhere. I'm just going to be doing like a every other day schedule. So like we'll do a story one day and then new content the next day and then a story another day. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to mix it up. I don't want to get stuck doing one thing. And I think that having two different varieties of content will be a lot more beneficial for you guys and me in the long run. Not only will I have more stories to tell, right? Because I'm not going to be burning through them within the first like 2-3 years of this channel. But also we'll be able to get some other content out there, maybe get some new people in the community and stuff like that. So stay tuned for the new content. Sorry if I scared a lot of you by saying I was gonna, or for the misunderstanding. No, I'm not quitting story times, and don't plan on it. I still got a lot to share, and that's going to continue. It's just going to be an every other day thing. So, and this is not the new content. I'm still working on it. I got it in the wraps. We're working on it. But I needed something out today. So this is what we're doing. We're doing another tier list. Also, the last tier list did super well. That's kind of another reason I'm doing it. But I digress. So anyways, I hope y'all enjoy the video. If you do, please smash a sub and a like. I greatly appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me recently. Can't thank you guys enough. We're about halfway to 600 subs by the time I'm recording this. And I think we have like over 60 members in our Discord, which is crazy. And that leads me into my next point. On the top of your screen right now and in the description of this video, there is a Discord server you can join where you can talk to me, other fans, ask advice, come play games with me, or other people, come talk about music. Music's apparently pretty big within the community here, which I'm happy about. I love music, so. But yeah, and then finally, please, if you do drugs of any kind, please, in the description, there's a link to a website to go buy drug testing kits. Please, if you take drugs, if you know someone who does, please get them for them. This would be an amazing New Year's present. They really can save your life or another person's. So anyways, without further ado, let's get into the video. So okay, so yeah, we're gonna be talking about the dangers of substances. And once again, sorry about my chair. I am currently about to order one tomorrow, like on New Year's Day, so we won't have to deal with this bullshit again. But let's just start from the top. Let's just go like box down, kind of go through it, right? And I've tried to find we're not gonna do Pinky. No one fucking knows what Pinky is. Only I do. Or maybe you do, and you're one of the cool kids. Who knows? But we're gonna be. I decided to find one with all the pain pills because I think each pain pill in my opinion, has a different level of like a different addiction level or danger level to the person and the family. Actually, we're not going to talk about addiction level. Maybe I'll make another tier list when I am kind of backtracked with videos and stuff on the addictiveness. So let's start off with the dangers. So we're just gonna take it top left to right. Nothing special. Fuck this chair. So let's see. Meth, moderately, meth's moderately dangerous. It's not extremely dangerous. It's not one of those things that'll kill you. We'll put mildly dangerous. Actually, it's not. And this is gonna come to a shocker, but it's not one of those things that like is going to be 6 years old and you can get prescribed methamphetamine as a prescription. So it really isn't that dangerous. The real dangers that come of methamphetamine use are the dangers to yourself, meaning like, stealing, weight loss, whatever you need to do to get the drug, which usually involves a lot of illegal stuff. Hanging out with those people, that usually involves a lot of illegal stuff too. Buying from dealers, this and that. It's also it's very addictive too. But we're not going to be talking about addictiveness. We're going to talk about the dangers itself. Obviously, there's meth mouth that you can get, which your teeth like start rotting away and falling out. That shit sucks. So that's why this is going in mildly dangerous. Kratom, I'm gonna put it neutral because there's a lot of people that can take kratom and be completely fine, and there's a lot of people that we'll put it slightly safe. Its profile's pretty good. Yeah, I believe there's been like a few recorded cases of overdose, but it's always been with something else in the system. However, I think there's still a large like margin for error here because it's a serotonin and norepinephrine reuptake inhibitor. I think someone taking, let's say, like 2 SSRIs, 2 SNRIs separately throughout the day could easily take this, not knowing it affects the serotonin system and end up with serotonin syndrome. So I would put it in safe, but I think because it's an opioid and because it has that serotonergic property to it, it definitely belongs here. Oxycodone in general. Neutral. I mean, the thing is like at the end of the day, just talking about the dangers of it, it's not that really that dangerous. Like inherently, pain pills are not that dangerous on their own. It's the addiction that comes with them, and I think that with with things like these pain pills, I mean, yes, they're dangerous in respect that they addict you, but generally like bodily harm and things like that, I just don't see it. They're prescribed. I mean, you can see even in this picture up to 80 milligrams a day of oxycodone, and people have been fine. So I think that the main concern is a lot of the opioids metabolites that are convulsant drugs. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know this, but a lot of different opioids metabolize into like their glucuride form or their hydroxy form, and a lot of them have like very what's it called convulsant like effects in animal studies. So I'm gonna put hydros here too. I'm gonna put what's it called? Where's it? No, not that. We're gonna Percocet's the same thing. Morphine, Dilaudid. We're gonna put all the pain pills as neutral because it can go. Tramadol, actually, I'm going to put right here because it's a little different. Same. ODSMT could go here too. We're gonna do that. That's where we're gonna put all the pain pills. So next we got, let's see, DXM. DXM is gonna go up here with meth. DXM is one of those things you do in high school. I've said this before. But the main issue is both of its active chemicals. So you have DXM, which is dextromethorphan, and then it metabolizes in the body into DXO, which is dextrofan. And both of them are serotonin reuptake inhibitors, both NMDA antagonists, norepinephrine reuptake inhibitors. One was slightly each chemical being slightly variable. I believe DXO is more of a NMDA receptor antagonist compared to a serotonin reuptake inhibitor. However, there have been many case studies, and in fact, even Chubby Emu did a video on this. If you don't know Chubby Emu, I'll put a clip in the top right here, showing his channel and stuff like that. Chubby Emu, he's a he does like toxicology videos, and then one of them, a girl, was taking DXM on the side to kind of deal with life, and she had been taking like some supplements and ended up with serotonin syndrome in the hospital because of it. And serotonin syndrome, in my opinion, isn't really talked about a lot in the drug community, and I think it's something that really needs to get more light about how dangerous it can be to mix a lot of serotonergic chemicals. And even over-the-counter stuff, supplements you can buy at like GNC can cause a lot of serotonin to build up, and even if you're just taking an antidepressant, can kill you. So it's a very scary thing, and I think that's why DXM goes up there. On top of it being like very easy to dose, very easy to get the wrong. Like if you don't get pure DXM, very easy to die on just the fillers alone, like acetaminophen, diphenhydramine, and other stuff that goes in with it. But yeah. Klonopin, as far as safety goes, we're gonna put it like we're gonna put all the benzos up, because the thing with benzos are that you black out and you make stupid fucking decisions that can kill you. Um, and I think that anything that disinhibits you to that level, to where you could possibly, just walk in the middle of the street, get hit by a car and not even realize you're in the middle of the street, or go steal from your friends, not realize you're doing it, or things like that. Like that's something very dangerous. On top of that, the withdrawal from these can kill you. Really any GABAergic, having withdrawals can kill you, such as like alcohol, phenibut. Let's see, Ambien, Zopiclone. You get what I'm saying? Any fucking we're gonna put Ambien like right here too. Any GABAergic can eventually kill you through seizures, so we're gonna keep those there. Ambien, I'm gonna put it in neutral, just because it's one of those things that not many people like to take. They prescribe it for sleep, and it has very unpleasant effects at high doses, like deliriant visuals and things like that. I mean, unless you're into that sort of thing, but I think that Ambien doesn't really take the cake as far as benzos go. But we're gonna skip ahead to weed. We're gonna put weed and shrooms in the same category. It is very like weed, or actually LSD too. Are there any other peyote? I don't know if you can overdose on peyote, and I'm not gonna sit here and act like oh, we forgot to put this up here. And I'm not gonna act like I know, but for the sake of the video, I'm gonna put it here. Psychedelics are some of the safest, and this will also include like, what's it called, mescaline too, like the pure form of the peyote cactus, like the extracted alkaloid. Marijuana, that's an easy one, right? Can't overdose on it. Very hard to. Shrooms, I don't think there's a reported death from shrooms alone. Same with LSD. I don't think there's a reported death. And I covered it in my half vial of LSD video that I did. There was a woman who like snorted 44 milligrams of powdered LSD and still survived, and is completely fine to this day. Peyote, I've never heard of someone overdosing on peyote or mescaline before. So we're gonna keep these all here. I think that all these could go here. Caffeine, I'm actually gonna put it at slightly safe, because yes, it's super accessible. It doesn't have a great high. It's not something easily overdosed on. There's a lot of case studies of people like mixing pre-workouts protein powders up, and accidentally adding way too much of a pre-workout, overdosing on the caffeine, dying, or being left with like damage from the seizures they had and stuff like that. And I mean, you can call that just because it's ease of access. That's why it happened, and that's completely fine. But like with these other substances here, even when they overdosed without ease of access, they were fine, right? And that's why I think that caffeine belongs up here. Because while it is moderately safe, I still believe that it has potential to still kill you. Flocka, extremely dangerous. It's one of those things where you have to get your dosing right. You really can't, like, if you keep redosing, the amount of norepinephrine that gets released is extreme, and it's well documented that alpha PVP, APIHP, and a lot of other pyros cause an extreme rise in blood pressure and heart rate. And a lot of users report, including me, report a exploding heart sensation, like your heart's like beating super fast. And at the end of the day, and there's also been, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I'm pretty sure there are some. There have been a few pyros that have come out that have actually turned out to be coagulants along with vasoconstrictors, which, if you don't know what that means, it means it coagulates your blood, and also it shrinks your blood vessels. So you're asking for a blood clot with that. So I think that Flocka, even regardless of the coagulant thing, right, still vasoconstrictor, still this, I believe that Flocka belongs up here. You also never know what you're getting when you buy Flocka. Unless you buy, if someone tells you you're buying alpha PVP, and you go and buy it. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be getting alpha PVP. You're going to get another pyro, right? And that's another danger of it. You really don't know what you're getting here. So spice, same shit, kinda. Spice is one of those things you don't know what you're getting at all. It's very very hard to tell exactly what synthetic cannabinoid you're gonna get unless you send it to a lab. There's no like reagent test kit for it, so you're really just depending on the dealer to give it, who gave it to you, to tell you what it is. And the thing is that all the really safe, what's it called? All the really safe cannabinoids that were out are now banned, and they've been replaced by the AB series. What else is around nowadays? There's a bunch of the 5F series. There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of new cannabinoids that have come out, and all of them are extremely dangerous. And the really only pharmacological properties we know about a lot of these like brand new cannabinoids is that they work on the CB1 and CB2 receptor. But that's it. We don't know if they can cause like heart arrhythmias, if they can cause strokes, cancer, things like that. And I think that's what makes spice so dangerous. And I've also had personal experience smoking 3 different cannabinoids, and 3 or 4, something like that. And I did not have a good time. AB Fubinaca, to be specific, was probably the worst experience on spice I've ever had. But amphetamine, we're neutral. Same with Adderall, neutral. I mean, people are prescribed this every day. I mean, obviously, there's a chance to overdose, right? Hold on, water. There's a decent chance of overdosing. But at the end of the day, I think that, like, compared to meth, it's relatively safe. You're not going to find a lot of people with, like, pure amphetamine, like, base, unless you're in Europe. But Adderall, at least here in the States, Adderall, pretty relatively safe unless you find fake Adderall with meth, but, that's not actual Adderall. So if you really got a genuine amphetamine, I believe that it's about here. And I think it's self-explanatory. I mean, we prescribe 6-year-olds this shit. Concerta, slightly safe. Same shit. We prescribe it we're actually going to put it, like, right above caffeine. Concerta's prescribed to kids, and it doesn't, so compared to like Adderall is a dopamine norepinephrine reuptake inhibitor, so is Concerta. However, Adderall releases dopamine and norepinephrine too. Concerta does not. So Concerta has a lot low of a addiction profile compared to Adderall, which we're not covering, but it also has a lot less of a danger profile because it doesn't increase norepinephrine to the same level as Adderall does, or dopamine. So risk of stimulant, psychosis goes down, stuff like that. MDMA, another neutral, like a we'll put it like right before the pain pills. MDMA, the only issue with MDMA, and I'm assuming you have pure MDMA. We're not going to be talking about like if you got fake MDMA or stuff like that. Really, the problem with MDMA is, number one, the neurotoxicity that comes from it, the hyperthermia that comes with it, and the possibility for serotonin syndrome. Besides that, very, very safe substance. Really doesn't cause a lot of problems on its own. Obviously, there's a lot of high-dose pills out there nowadays. I believe a Blue Punisher recently came back for like 450 milligrams of MDMA, which is absolutely nuts. That is a crazy amount of MDMA to be putting in one pill. But I digress. Lean, I wanted to do it separate from the pain pills because I honestly believe that lean's one of those things that goes like right here too, slightly safe. Fake pints, obviously not a good idea, but assuming you have real lean, I mean, it's really safe. You're not going to get serotonin syndrome from it. Really hard to overdose on it unless you're mixing pills or other depressants with it. And it's a really fun substance. Obviously, it's addicting. We're not covering that, but I think it belongs there. Crack, I'm going to put it like right below meth. Crack can be pretty dangerous, however, it's dangerous because of the stuff you do on it. It's not really dangerous on its own. per se. There are a lot of cutters and stuff like levamisole that may be left over from cooking it. However, like when you cook crack, a lot of the impurities are removed from the cocaine. Not all of them, but a little bit are removed, and I think that makes it a little bit safer than actual cocaine. Well, we'll do that. I think that we'll do. How do I want to do this? We'll do that. We'll put them right next to each other because I still think crack. Excuse my chair. Here we go. All right. I still think crack is one of those things that makes you do a lot of stupid shit, and to get more of it, you need more money for it, and things like that. You know, you're always being around dealers. Cocaine kind of it's fiendish, but it's not to the level that crack is. And obviously, they're both the same thing. They're both cocaine. One's free base, one's hydrochloride salt. But I still believe that powdered cocaine, because it lasts longer, because it's more socially acceptable. Um, I mean, you know, it's one of those things that you do at parties and things like that. It's not really something, and it's something that you can do around other people without looking like a fiend, which I also think that really gives it an edge, because being able to do something around other people automatically boosts your safety level, because if something does happen, you can get help. The one thing I will say about both, about cocaine in general, and that includes crack, is that a lot of people, it is very cardiotoxic, meaning it has a really like toxic effects on like your heart and circulatory system and all that. So there's been some people who have had like heart disease or things like that who have taken like less than 30 milligrams and died, because it's just that strong in the heart. So you got to be really careful about, and actually because of that, we're gonna be doing this, and this may seem a little weird. We'll do that. I think that that's a really good. Fuck it, we'll do this. We'll do that. That seems like a better choice. So yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of these drugs are cardiotoxic, but cocaine specifically has a high index for cardiotoxicity compared to other stimulants. So fentanyl will put extremely dangerous. However, medically used, it is not that dangerous. And you know, a lot of people don't realize that if you take like 25 micrograms to 50 micrograms of fentanyl, it'll feel like 1 or 2 Vicodin. It's not, just because potency doesn't necessarily equal effect unless you're doing the equivalent amounts, right? But assuming you're getting street fentanyl, you'll never know your dose. You'll never know what else is in it, and it'll eventually kill you. It's not if it'll kill you, it's when. So always please test your drugs. Don't use fentanyl, kids. Ketamine, neutral. One of those things prescribed for surgeries, depression. Doesn't cause toxicity. Actually can help the brain a lot. However, you know, things like ketamine bladder and stuff like that. I mean, it's very hard to get ketamine bladder. Like, you really have to be trying to, you know, keep the addiction going, but it is what it is. Quaaludes, I've only tried analogs, so we're not going to cover this. Heroin's going to go up here, right between these two, right below that. Heroin, if you're getting, and I'm assuming you're getting pure heroin, is so much safer than fentanyl. It's not good for you, but it is a hell of a lot safer than fentanyl. You can do a dose, you'll be fine for withdrawals for hours. Obviously, there's still a huge risk of overdosing. You don't know the purity of it. You don't know what else is in it. However, I think that compared to something cardiotoxic like crack and something like meth that makes you do like really stupid shit for it, it also can make you have like stimulant psychosis. With both of these, I think that heroin goes here. PCP, we're gonna put right above heroin. PCP, when used correctly or using an analog, it can be really fun. Like 3-MeO PCP, 3-HO PCP were really fun, and I personally had no issues with them. Actual PCP and here's the thing, you'll never know with PCP if you've got real PCP. There's no like test unless you send it for like a GCMS at a lab to really determine what PCP you got. Do you have like the official phencyclidine? Do you have 3-MeO phencyclidine? Do you have 3-CL phencyclidine? You'll never know. So that's why this is going into moderately dangerous. On top of that, super easy to overdose on. And especially with real PCP, if you overdose, you won't know where you are. You'll have a very hard, you'll dissociate from everything. And the issue is, unlike ketamine, where you dissociate from everything and you're unable to move, on real PCP, you can still fucking move. There are some people, and I've had this experience too, where you'll just get stuck. You'll smoke it and you'll just stare off into space, and get really spacey from it. And I've also had those experiences too. But I've had also experiences where I'll be walking around the hood like barefoot. So I don't think that it's the best choice. Alcohol, extremely dangerous, self-explanatory. Not gonna explain it. Nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide, easy, extremely dangerous. Same with cigarettes. So I'll explain both of these. So nitrous oxide causes a vitamin B12 deficiency in the body when used over and over again, on top of oxygen deprivation to the brain, which both can cause brain cell death. But vitamin B12 deficiency can also cause things like nerve damage in your extremities and neurological problems and a bunch of stuff. On top of the oxygen deprivation too, it literally is just killing your brain cells. Cigarettes, everyone knows why cigarettes are bad for you. They cause cancer. They cause tar to build up in the lungs. They are horrible. Even though I still smoke cigarettes, it's the same shit. Vaping, I'd put at mildly dangerous. We don't know a lot about it from the research that's been done. It is a hell of a lot safer than cigarettes. However, it's still not good for you. And a lot of the flavorings need to be studied before we can conclusively say that this is a completely safe thing to do. Or not completely safe, but you get what I'm saying. Like a safe, like a pretty safe alternative that doesn't cause long-term harm. But anyways, so that's gonna be the tier list. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you do, sub and like. Sorry I had to release something like this today. It wasn't my plan to. However, I woke up late. I didn't have the new content done. I apologize. Tomorrow I will be working on it tonight, and tomorrow we will have that new content out for you guys soon. No spoilers, but I hope y'all have a good day. All right, deuces.